and welcome to episode 17 of Cold Case Christmas. Can you believe that we're actually 3/4 of the way through this series? All of the episodes from 13 all the way up to and including the 24th of December are cases that have been chosen by members of my other channel, MichelleAfterDark. And in this episode, we have a brutal murder of a 19-year-old teenager who went to the supermarket for some beer and was never seen alive again. His badly decomposed body was found a month later in Woodland, close to that store. This is the horrific case of Ashley Dighton. Ashley Dighton, aged 19 at the time of his murder, was last seen on the 11th of June 2007 at Sainsbury's supermarket in Simonewell Avenue, Ashford in Kent in the UK. He'd spent the night at his sister's and he was a bit worse for wear. You know, he liked to have a good time. He was a young lad. Apparently he'd been drinking vodka. He went to the supermarket allegedly to buy some beer, and that was that. He was gone. Now, shortly before he went to Sainsbury's, he did say he was going meeting someone, which could be of interest or not. Maybe it was unrelated. We'll probably never know, because his killer or killers have never been caught. His family didn't report his disappearance to the police for a few days because he was 19, he was an adult, and he was known to go walkabout for a few days, you know, go partying with friends, and that wasn't unusual for Ashley. However, once he was reported to the police, there was absolutely no sign of him. That is, until his remains, badly decomposed, were found in Woodland near the store a month later. Earlier this year, Kent Police renewed their appeal for information about Ashley's killers. This was a cold case review that all cases that are long-standing, that are unsolved, go through periodically. But how do they know it was murder, I hear you say? You know, maybe he just wandered off, was drunk, or had a medical emergency, or something happened and he just died. No. Although the coroner couldn't confirm the cause of Ashley's death because his body was so decomposed, his manner of death, absolutely 100%, was homicide, murder, because the details of how his body was found just defy all common decency. His killer or killers were absolute animals. His head has never been found. I think that tells you all you need to know about why this was declared a homicide. However, let's carry on. His family has a Facebook page called Justice for Ashley Dighton. And on that page, there are some heartbreaking details that the family have shared. So I'm going to read you the about section of this Facebook page. His remains had been kind of covered with branches, you know, some kind of attempt had been made to hide the body, but his head had been removed and also his fingertips. Presumably, the killer or killers thought that by removing his head and his fingertips, you know, for fingerprints, it would have been harder to identify him. Clearly, these killers, whoever they are, aren't that bright because DNA is a thing. Once his body had been recovered, the police continued to search that area. And nearby, they found a bag that had Ashley's t-shirt in it and one rib. Now, the rib, allegedly, was attached to the t-shirt, which means that the t-shirt had been removed when his body was already decomposing. I just can't. obviously his body had been moved, or the killers had returned to that area to remove maybe more items that they thought were identifying. Hello, DNA! But other items of his clothing were completely missing. The family are still hoping that his head can be recovered at some point. They feel that he isn't completely laid to rest without his head. It's just such a devastating case. On that renewed appeal earlier this year, the family gave a statement to the press, and they said, Mr. Dighton's family urges anyone with information to do the right thing. Since this tragic news, our family has been destroyed. Our father and mother have not been the same since, and I don't think any of us have slept properly. He has been cheated cruelly out of the happy future he deserved. As a family, we ask anyone who has any knowledge of what happened to Ashley to please come forward. We really need to know why Ashley was taken from us. And there are people who know. Allegiances change and people move on and have children of their own. What may have been difficult once to talk about may be different now. Remember, this was in 2007. This is 16 years ago. There are members of Ashley's family who believe that he was murdered because of something to do with drugs, or maybe it was mistaken identity, and maybe the killers were only teenagers themselves. And they're grown up now. They have maybe families of their own, maybe regret what they did, or people who know regret knowing what they know and are prepared to come forward. And of course, you can always report anonymously via the independent charity Crime Stoppers, which is 0800 555 111. Shawnee Dighton, who is Ashley's sister, on November 15th, so a month ago, wrote a letter on her Facebook page to the killers. You didn't only end a life that night, but you ended mine and many others too. You took a big part of our life away. A brother, a friend, a son. No amount of words can express our pain, and I can show you the realization of the situation at hand. All the devastation you have caused. Ashley Dighton was the nicest man you could meet. He helped out so many and was always standing tall. Ashley helped many in the storm. I remember the time he hated to see me sad and others. Ashley would cheer up any soul. He was like an ivy plant, spread his joy to all. Ashley would always be the man who saved the day. And they do say people who are like Ashley deep down try to heal their wounds and scars. Ashley might have drunk, but Ashley was trying to deal with a lot of his mental health issues. And until we live in one's shoes, we can never judge fully. We're all human and make mistakes. Now I'm going to tell you my side. You took Ashley away from me and everyone. I miss him every day, and it sounds silly saying about this. I still think you're going to walk back through the door with your bacon sandwich up the floor. You were so funny, Ashley. It's unreal. Even now, I have a lot of issues, but you are the biggest part of my mental health. From June to December are shit months for me. 11th of June, you were murdered. 11th of July, you were found. 24th of September, you were buried. 6th of November, your birthday. And 24th of December, you're not with us. Pain losing someone. I was only 15 when you took our brother. It fucked me right up in the head. I don't give shit about childhood trauma, but one of the worst things happen is losing someone through horrific crime. To find out when 15 that you left my brother to rot. How is that fair? You took my brother's head for your sick twister game. Seriously, what sick fuck does that? I was a child. I hope you murderers look at your child and think, how would you feel if you were them, losing a brother at 15 and acting like you're a man of God? And to think people out there know what happened and don't help us out? Don't you think, for sake of our mental health, for us to start a healing journey, not to forget, but to start letting us enjoy and celebrate Ashley's life? Because at the moment, the not knowing is effing us up. I guess what I'm saying is give us answers, so as a family we can heal. Thank you for reading. Sorry for it being long. Don't apologise, Shawnee. Do not apologise. These killers need to be brought to justice. If anybody knows anything at all about the murder of Ashley Dighton, please come forward. Again, you can do so anonymously via Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. Or you can pass information directly on to Kent Police at 01 843 222289. Please, someone, do the right thing for Ashley and his family. Alright guys, that's it for episode 17. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode of Cold Case Christmas. Bye guys. Good girl. Good girl. Good boy, Noodle.